Alright, next key signature we are going to cover this guy right here. He is known as B flat major. B flat. So not B major, B flat. Oh, and just so you guys know, the shorthand for B flat, it's B followed by the little lowercase b. It kind of looks like these guys right here. Once again, guys, I don't know why the flats are written to look like that. I don't know why that little b represents flats. I'm sure somebody knows, but it's not me. Either way, the important thing that we need to know is whenever you see these two flats at the beginning of your music, here are the finger patterns that you're going to follow on your instrument. Now remember, guys, there are things called accidentals which change these, but accidentals will be a topic for another video. So let's focus on these right now. So everybody, B flat, here's what happens. If you have a C string, you are going to have your first finger right there. And then this mostly affects cellos and violas, you're going to have a low 2. Okay? A low 2. Then this finger right here remains the same. And this finger right here remains the same. Okay? And cellos, I just want you guys to remember that tapes 1, 2, and 3 are right here, and this is your fourth one that you have to extend for, so just keep that in mind. Okay? Alright, let's go to the G string, which everybody has. So your first finger is going to be normal. You're going to have a low, you guys are going to have a low 2 on this one. Your third / fourth finger for cellos is going to remain the same. And then your notes down here also remains the same, that D right there. Also, guys, remember this note right here corresponds to the next string. So that is a G, right there. That right here is a D, just like that. And I think you guys can guess what that is. It's going to be an A. But let's go ahead and get these fingers in first. So B flat is where we really start to have a lot of low ones. So our first one is going to be right here, in fact. We have our first low 1 on the D string. Then we have a low 2. And cellos, you guys can play this one of two ways. You can either do 1 right there and then 3 right there. So you could have 1, 3. Or you can do that extension that I taught you, 1, 2. Just depending on the notes that you need next. Then after that, this finger remains the same right here, and this guy remains the same right here. Okay, so far so good. Let's move over to the A string where we have another low 1. And then we're going to have our low 2 friend right there. And then this one goes right here. Now this is an important step, especially for my my violins. Okay, it's important for everybody, but especially for the violins. In B flat major violins, you actually cannot use your open E because we need an E flat. And as you guys can see, your open E, it's E natural, meaning that you must play your E flat right there. So your fourth finger is going to have a low 4 in between those two tapes. All right, so once again, no open E's allowed, but you can still use your low 1 on the E string. You're going to have a low 2, normal third finger right there, and then kind of like with F major, that low 4 hangs around. Okay, so, and then once again, just because I like showing you guys the connections between stuff, you guys can see whole steps. We have big one from right there to right there, whole step right there to right there, whole step, whole step. This key has a lot of whole steps, guys. I'm sure as you've noticed. Whole steps, whole steps. This guy right here is a big whole step, meaning that you have big space. Fingers are not next to each other. Whole steps right there. And then we do have a few half steps we can see one right there, nice and tiny. Tiny guy right there. D string is pretty much nothing but whole steps. How exciting. And then half step right there. Those third and fourth fingers, violins and violas, gotta keep them close together. And then we have one last whole step right, or sorry, one last half step right there. And everybody, that is B flat major in a nutshell. So remember, whenever you guys see this key signature, and by the way, guys, depending on if you play cello or viola, you won't have the treble clef right there. You'll have your own. But as long as you see the two flats, that is all that matters. Okay, everybody, that should about cover for this one.